Hello, Cuna. So I will be reviewing some latest campaign reports. There's something going on with the main Sunshine website. It seems like the data is just not being updated. There was a gentleman on Twitter. I forgot his name, but he referenced this very beneficial campaign contribution site on the Ada County website. And this seems to be reporting for all offices. You can see here District 13. And you can see here where it's grabbing the data from right here. Let me see. I could zoom in. Down here, it has a link, and the link goes to this page. So I guess I'm just gonna have to put. And anyway, here, let me see. For example, here, commonly SMC is used. My information is there. You can see my contributions. I might as well, I guess, if you take a look at it, you'll see my name. I think it gives my mailing address. My mailing address, and it gives, yeah. So you'll see in there, yes, the great secret I have not been disclosing is I am a resident of Puerto Rico. I don't know if you noticed some of the map things were in, here we go. So SMC. Sometimes on maps, they'll be in Spanish or in kilometers, kilometros in Espanol. All right, so I have a farm out in Cuna, and I got a subdivision approved, and I'm working on that for the final division. So that is my interest. There it is. So okay, so for example, so you can enter the contributor's name. There's various information that you can put in here, and you can see here SMC Properties, which is, I believe, the silver and gold company up in Eagle. They're related to that. You can see they're big donors as well. Think Idaho Liberty PAC 10,000. But what is interesting here, this actually goes to a much larger discussion. Here you can see, you can see where they're pulling the data from. The actual Sunshine website does not seem to have the latest updates for whatever reason. A lot of the campaigns I'm looking up, the latest information they have listed is like from the end of last year. So I don't know what's going on there. This seems to have the most updated data. And so in terms of deadlines, how finance law works is if it's $1,000 or greater, it needs to be reported on. I'm assuming it would be on this website. You'll be able to see it like a 48-hour window. And then if it is under $1,000, it's reported by the 10th of the month following. So April 10th was the deadline to report all of the March contributions. So sometimes what you'll see is that people will be donating like $995 or $999 to get away from the 48-hour window reporting requirement. So here on the general meta view of things, you can see here who are the greatest companies. This is great where it actually separates the colors out between companies, and you can see individuals or persons. And then I guess you have non-disclosed. The green, it appears, is just their self-funding, maybe like loans. I'm not sure exactly how that works. I'm assuming that's how it works, or that's candidate. Forget it. I don't know what the green means. All right, so red here, you can see huge Clearwater Paper is putting a huge amount of money. Bennett Lumber, that's 10,000. And you can see here, this is, well, I don't know if you can see it, it's such a small screen for you, is from January 1st to March 31st. I haven't tried opening this on a mobile device. It may not work very well on a mobile device. Idaho Power, of course, is well known to be contributing a lot, but Clearwater Paper, for whatever reason, puts a lot of money in. I don't know why that is. I don't know what it is that they're trying to lobby. I'm curious. So you can see here where Ball Ventures, of course, that's a common name. Hospitality or hospitals, healthcare. Of course, you can see about 6,000. Um, yeah, I mean it's not. Yeah, I mean it's not. It doesn't seem like super huge. Generally, when you look at here, you can see they're generally, inside. The ones that I think maybe it's for like stateside elections where it starts getting weird is like Pfizer. Pfizer starts coming in. St. Luke's starts coming in pretty big. But we are in April 10th, so we don't know what all of the April contributions are happening. Now, in my case, I let me see here. I will show you regarding the 48-hour requirement. It had to be reported because it was the $1,000 mark. And you can see here, I donated here in April 8th here. So it's not, he didn't have to wait until May 10th to do it. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how this goes. Anyway, that's the general thing. So I went ahead and I looked up each of these individual candidates to see how they're doing. So let's start with, you know what? I didn't even bother with Todd Lakey because he's running unopposed. But okay, so let's start with Christina Lambert versus Sean Dygert here. Christina Lambert, you can see here, she has received about $12,673. And this is for 2023 to 2024. And then you're going to see Sean Dygert here receiving almost the same, about $11,500. But you can see kind of, when I'm bouncing between the two tab, I have it between different tabs. You can see kind of the dynamic. So definitely in the case of Representative Tina Lambert, she's getting a lot more of individual contributions. And you put your mouse here and you can see who it's from. Look at me. There's me. Yeah, sticking out like a sore thumb. Me and Lily Sorensen from Nampa. Now, one of the other things that I have observed is that half of the votes basically come out of CUNA. So, whoever can get the CUNA vote basically wins the thing. And here, when I'm looking through the addresses here, there's Cindy. Cindy is very involved with the city politics, and I'm going to be making a different video, but she really delved into the rewrite of the zoning code for the city of CUNA. So we'll go back to that. There's Christy Zito. She's running currently. So here you can see here she has 54 contributions. And now what's interesting is like you're not seeing a huge number of CUNA. Now, of course, this could, yeah, because she actually lives out, I believe, in Nampa, not within the city of CUNA area. So this just some observations here. And then two, here's SMC Properties, which is the gold and silver guy or company. And then I have no idea what this is, the LNR group, but looks like they're based in CUNA. So here, when you compare it with Sean Dygert, you're going to see as well a lot of, here's Melba. Here's Debbie. I'm not sure if that's, some relation, probably. There's another guy they were joking. It was Hearst. Yeah, Hearst, one of the Freedom Bros. That there's some race, and he's just gonna win because, like in his district, it's mostly his family members. I just forgot the name at this time. But anyway, here looking at the cities, I mean, you can see Melba, Bruno. Actually, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. South Weber, Farmington. Oh, that's Utah. Marsing, Jerome. These are all in much. This is Owyhee County. Not really in the city proper. Not even like Nampa, as close as Nampa. Here's a Caldwell, but pretty far out there. And then of course half of it is from the big dairies like Idaho. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to mean dairy industry pack. It's just probably misspelt. L and I. I mean, they're not close, but I think if you're maybe typing it caps lock, right? The I and the L, I don't know what happened there. I'm looking at the keyboard. They're not really close together. But anyway, Idaho Power Company, as we frequently see, Professional Firefighters of Idaho. I have a video about this. This is related with Sean Digert, who's head of that, and there was some letter that was leaked on that. I might need to post that now. Yeah, I'll take a look. But yeah, I mean it's a pretty. I mean, I like you'll see the video. They're yeah. I mean, they're openly against individual freedom. They're obviously biased toward their own benefit. It's just part of the game. So Snake River sugar beet growers, so Stimson Lumber Company, that's only 250. I mean, these aren't like super large amounts. The limit is 1,000, so they can't go super big. 500, for these kinds of companies is like nothing. But anyway, it's just interesting. You can see between the two, whose interests they're likely to represent. So you have 54 contributors in the case of Representative Tina Lambert. And then in the case of Sean Liebert, you have half of that, about 28, and a lot more from companies, contributions from companies. So, that's just how the game works. All right. So here is Representative Melissa Durant, the Big D Ranch, and her challenger, Chris Bruce, which is the city of Kuna councilman. Now, he announced it pretty late, so his name or his information, it may not be, oh, here, interesting, here, 331. So actually, I think, because I noticed my name wasn't on there. But remember, it's not until the 10th of the month. I think I'm going to pop up now. So let's see. But that's only, you could even see even, the people who are giving 1,000 are very few. It's like 3. You can count it on one hand. In this case, it was, sorry, that's Sean. In the case for Tina, it was me and Lily Sorensen. All right. So, yeah, they're not going to show up that often. I'm not sure what is going on with the date, if it's updating automatically, because there does seem to be some kind of disconnect. This was, updated April 15th. So maybe that's why. Sometimes with these programs, you have to upload the database manually. And so if they're manually downloading, here you can see here, downloading this data, because I try to do some data management as well. And, they're going to have to manually update that information. Let's see, for Chris Bruce. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. So you can see my name here, but it's not showing up on the report. It's probably just something to do with the database. So yeah, I think, if it was updated April 15th, right, for example, it wouldn't make sense for me to go to April 19th. That's misleading. So we'll just keep it at 31st. Maybe, when they uploaded the information, they only uploaded it up to March 31st. It's hard to say on these. Actually, they might actually say here, somebody has to manually upload this information. I don't think, because this is like some probably freebie-ish or very cheap program. I would imagine they don't have a direct feed to the database from the SOS website, the Sunshine, the Secretary of State website. All right, so here's Melissa Durant. And I'm going to bring this up in comparison with Tina's. So Melissa, interestingly enough, has raised less money, but maybe she's going to be fundraising more. But here you can see it's 77% of it is from company money. You have Clearwater Paper, which we familiar with, Idaho Association of Realtors, Idaho Dairy Industry PAC, Altria, Client Services, Ball Ventures, of course, Delamar Mining, Idaho Power, Maverick, Mountain View Hospital, Swedish, and then of course you have a little bit small here, and then two people. Looks like it is Peggy and Richard Larson, um, Dubois. I don't know if that's how they pronounce it there, but it is that's like East Idaho. So not much individual raising here, but once again, I think I'm going to be reviewing this again May 10th. I believe the primary is middle after May 15th. So it'll give a small window to see how the predictions are going to be. But here, once again, I mean, there's it's no how they vote and how they get their contributions. It's not surprising, right? Whose interests they end up representing. Now, once again, I do want to caveat all of that with the aspect that both sides can be arguing their Idaho first. You don't see a lot of international man. It really you start seeing Pfizer there, or you start seeing Facebook or Meta in there, or Google, or some of the Budweiser was one of the common ones. You're not seeing that. So like when they vote, at least they're voting for Idaho big companies, right? Rather than international companies like that Huawei. If you started seeing Huawei starting, some Chinese company starting to donate to campaigns, ooh, boy, will that get spicy. All right, so let's go to Chris Bruce. So for whatever reason you would see my $1,000 in there, but that was a deposit around April 8th, according to this report. So this isn't necessarily up to date for the month of April, probably to the end of March. But Chris Bruce, which is the councilman from City of Kuna, announced somewhat late. I think pretty much at the deadline, which I believe was just last month. So so this is the example of what I was talking about, $995, so that he wouldn't have to file the 48-hour report. It is, that's just one example. Now, okay. So now we're going to go to Ada County, the elections there. I didn't pull up. You know what? I'm going to pull up just Senator Lakey, even though he's not running against anyone. I'm just curious. So here I'm going to select the candidate. And, just going back to, whether they're working for Idaho big companies, I think it's the big 180. The top 180 employers in the state employ like 80% of the population. So, if you're familiar with trickle down economics, or what they say, what's good for Idaho big business is good for the state of Idaho. The companies, they do contribute quite a bit to in forms of corporate taxes. So, that's why, when you're hearing about these concepts of rhino or all of that, you have to realize that's the way things have been run in the state of Idaho. So it seems to have been running, very well for the state as a whole, bringing income and jobs and prosperity to Idaho, well enough that it has attracted all of these outsiders, the political refugees from California. And so now what you're seeing, this dynamic of all of these, rebel, the Freedom, let's say the Freedom faction, very individualistic Freedom faction. The people who are able to move to Idaho, and I think this would be another interesting aspect, is that they tend to be independent sort of contractors, that they have that freedom. They can just move. They're not working for one of the top 180 employers. So their perspective isn't necessarily going to be to support one of these big employers like St. Luke's. They have their own things. So like Brian Lenny, for example, he's a copywriter. For myself, if I come in as a voter, I'm I have my own sort of like real estate investments. So I'm not beholden. I don't really care about how these big companies do. I just want my individual liberty, my freedom. That's why I came to Idaho. But I don't want my taxpayers going to fund these, big companies. But there is the aspect of, for example, Micron, right? So Micron, let's say, creates, I don't know what their latest project is creating. They're getting billions of dollars from the federal government, their CHIPS Act. And so there is kind of like a return on investment, especially even like for tax bases, right? So let's say you put in the taxes, you put in, let's say, for sake of ease, $1 million, right? $1 million of tax incentives to get Micron to expand their business. And return, after you look at all of the income tax and you look at the corporate income tax that we'd be receiving after that investment. So let's say Micron will put 9 million. So the federal government and the state of Idaho, they put in 1 million total, and then Micron puts in 9 million. They put a total of $10 million of investment, and actually it's probably going to be closer to billions. But let's say they put in $10 million worth of investments. The out of the taxpayer's pocket is, let's say, $1 million, but the tax net benefit, right, would be like 5x. It's probably higher, right? Because when you start looking at sales tax and all of the extra money that the benefits to the local economy that all of the new employees will be bringing in, and all of the construction workers, and then all of how that all trickles down through the supply chain, there is an argument that you gotta pay some money to get some money, especially when it comes down to taxes. Any sort of businessman, knows this. All right. So Todd Lakey here, he didn't even bother to get any individual donations. Well, he's running unopposed. Why even fundraise? And now would you say he only represents these? Here's Clearwater once again. I don't know what the deal is with Clearwater. What they're maybe they got some major project they're going to be trying to get. I don't know what's up. Well, Allstate is there, but these are only 500, so they're not really. Clearwater's the only one who did 1,000. You have Ball 500. I mean, these are not. For these companies, this is almost like nothing. I mean, come on, St. Luke's, they're the largest employer in Idaho, and they're put 250. So 5,500. That's half of what Tina Lambert raised. So, but he's running unopposed, so it is what it is. All right, so let's go to Ada County now. Ryan Davidson here. Oh no, is it resetting everything? All right, I'm gonna bring this up here. It refreshed. Here's Ryan Davidson. All right, so yeah, one of the reasons how I know that the main Sunshine website is not updating is because I've been typing my name in and be like, okay, when is it gonna come up when everyone will see, and it just hasn't been coming up. So now here it is. Okay, so here's who are the big donors. He has quite a bit more spread out. Here I am. And then he has it throughout Boise, Eagle, yes, yeah, a lot of $1,000, and then I don't know what after school athletics, Clifton Consulting, what their interest is, but yeah, I mean Ryan Davidson has been consistently just on the ball, like for every little area that can be saved. No question about that. All right. And he's running against Clyde Dornier. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Looks French to me, but anyway, how English pronounce it is different. So I tried pulling up his name. His name, nothing came up. And if it's below a certain threshold, I think it's $500. They don't need to provide a report. So we'll see next month. It'll be interesting to see what it is. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're just going by money raised and individuals involved, between Tina Lambert and Sean Digert, I would say Tina has definitely, well, legal name Christina has a lead with the number of donors, but there's still time. We'll see. We'll see how Sean Digert does. And that's the thing is like you can be super big, and I believe he's like the president, or he's one of the officers of the Republican Central Committee of Owyhee County. But it's like, dude, like there's no votes out in Owyhee, and even the Facebook page, it's super active. He's going around doing all these meet and greets, like in Melba, and it's like, dude, or Homedale, and it's like there's no votes out there. Like, if it was me running, I'd just be like focused on CUNA and stop, don't even just ignore Owyhee County. Sorry guys, and South Nampa. Just if you get Hammer and CUNA, that's half the votes. All right. So Tom Daly, his race, he's going against a lot of people here. We got Heather Luther, Sharon Ullman, and Brandon Durst. Not much in terms of funding, man. Look, 39,000, close to 40,000. This guy is a fundraising beast. Remember the highest that we've seen, I believe, was with Tina, about 12,000, and Tom Daly. He's a former legislator as well, so he has a lot of connections. But 40,000, that is an absolute beast for this race. I mean, it just seems to me pretty big. So I did not contribute anything to this. I'm staying out of this. Now, there's something going on that might be wrong because you can see there's different races. So I'm not sure if he ran for something else. Okay, I don't know what is going on here. Am I getting his name wrong? It starts with a T. Oh, okay, Thomas, sorry. The H. Okay, so this is all going as commissioner. The thing that threw me off was that there was one for $2,000. So maybe that, I don't know if that might have been from another race. Or what is the deal? Because I see some $2,000. I see quite a bit of $2,000. I don't know what the story is behind that. Maybe are the limits for Ada County too? I don't know. Or maybe the data is corrupted. Not sure. Not sure on that. Anyway, he has quite a bit, of individual donations. I would not claim that he in Ada County level that they're necessarily representing interests. They tend to be very, pro personal property. Yeah. Okay, and then the competitors. This is Brandon Durst. I mean, it's just so early. Basically, there's no money. It seems to be refreshing. So I think that's about it. This went on almost 30 minutes. It is going. So let me end it here. Have a good one. We'll do another review in May 10th, after the deadline. So and see how that goes. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.